Hi guys, and welcome back to my page. My name is Vicky with Live Beauty Studios, and I am a licensed esthetician based out of Tampa, Florida. I'm so excited to have you guys here today just so we could talk about something that is so dear to my heart. It is rosacea. I personally struggle with it, and I feel like I could help you, educate you along this video and teach you everything there is to know about this skin condition. So if you're ready to learn and you want to know more, go ahead and subscribe, like, and stay tuned. Alright guys, before we start, I do want to throw in a quick disclaimer. I am not a medical professional. I am not a doctor. I am just a licensed esthetician, and within my scope and my knowledge, along with my research, I just want to share this information that has helped me along these last couple of years to get my rosacea under control. As licensed professionals, for all you estheticians out there, it is out of our scope to diagnose our clients, and it is so important to refer them back to dermatologists, even if you without a doubt know that their condition or their concern with their skin is rosacea. We cannot diagnose them, and it is important to let them know that they should visit a dermatologist. However, as licensed estheticians, that does not mean that we cannot cater or create a routine or a facial that will help them be able to control or subside some of these symptoms that our clients can be experiencing. So with that being said, let's get started. I will be looking down at my notes occasionally just because I am making sure that I want to hit all my points that I want to make. So just letting you guys know, if I do look down, you guys know why. So what is rosacea? What are the symptoms? We're going to be answering all your questions, so that way you guys can know kind of what this condition is. I am one of 16 million Americans that suffer with rosacea. I'm going to insert a picture right here of how bad my rosacea got and to what point I actually went to go see a dermatologist to get professional help. I remember, I kind of want to start with how I got started on this journey. I went to a local esthetician who is absolutely phenomenal. Her work is impeccable, and she is so beyond knowledgeable. Her name is Carol with Lunabella Aesthetics, and she absolutely taught me so much when it comes to skincare. And one of the things that she had mentioned, she's like, your skin is a little flush, it looks a little sensitive and reactive. Have you ever been to the dermatologist before? I had responded, no. She's like, you should go check them out because it looks like it might be rosacea. It's a type of skin condition, and I think it'll be a good option for you to go. I took her advice, and within a couple of weeks, I was in a dermatologist's office, and sure enough, what she had mentioned to me, it was rosacea. As the weeks were going on, and I was visiting my dermatologist more and more, my skin was just getting worse, and he was noticing that we were trying a variety of different medications and creams, and nothing was working for me. Finally, we got on the right combination, and sure enough, it was able to clear up my skin, along with figuring out what are some of the trigger points for me that would cause my rosacea to flare up. But if it wasn't for that point of contact of me going out to an esthetician who is knowledgeable, who understands different skin conditions, I would have never known what rosacea was, and gone my whole adult life struggling with trying to figure out what the proper skincare routine would look like for me as someone who is suffering from rosacea. So with this condition, it is sometimes hard to feel confident or find the courage to step out in public without any makeup. I myself would have never stepped out in public without any sort of coverage because of how red and flushed my skin was. A lot of people would say, my goodness, your skin looks sunburned, were you out in the sun? And it's uncomfortable explaining to people like, no, that's just how my skin is. So I understand how uncomfortable it can be. But some of the common symptoms when it comes to this kind of skin condition are facial flushing, textures, thickness, erythema, telangiectasia, and papules and pustules, which we'll go into details as to what those are in a little bit. Who's likely to get rosacea? Typically, it is hereditary. genetics play a role in it. So if your parents or grandparents had it, you will typically get it, or you will suffer from some sort of facial flushing. You'll see it typically in adults between the ages of 30 to 50. Not to say that you wouldn't actually see it on younger clientele. I personally was diagnosed at the age of 28. I've seen also some of my friends who also suffer with rosacea who have struggled as well and were diagnosed at an earlier age. It just really depends on how quickly you get to a dermatologist and them seeing your skin. The quicker you get to them, the better, because you can quickly treat it. But typically your sebaceous glands are more established as an adult, so you typically see it more going into your adult years. Fair skin complexions, in a Fitzpatrick scale, we're talking complexion types 1, 2, and 3 are the ones you'll notice that suffer and struggle with rosacea. Those are the types that burn very easily, who don't typically get color, blonde hair, blue eyes, light browns, strawberry blondes. Those are the types that you're typically going to be noticing who struggle or suffer with the 4 types of rosacea. Women are more likely to get rosacea, but you will notice that there are some men who also suffer with rosacea. Typically when men do get diagnosed with it, they tend to have a more severe case, and we'll talk further along about the different types of rosacea. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the types of rosacea as well as the characteristics that go along with this type of skin condition. So the first type is known as vascular. This is the most mildest form of rosacea. Its medical term is known as erythema totalangic tactic rosacea. So with vascular rosacea, this is the most mildest form out of the 4 subtypes that we are going to be talking about today. With this one, you'll notice redness, flushing, also little blood vessels that are visible on the skin. The flushing typically persists for an abnormal amount of time. You'll also notice heat that protrudes from your face. That's one of the common symptoms when it comes to this type of rosacea. This one, you'll also notice tiny papules. So you're probably wondering what papules are. I brought out my school book for this one. Papules are small elevations on the skin that contain no fluid, but they may develop into a pustule. So a pustule is a pimple that has that white top that is the infection within the actual pore. A pustule will already be a pimple. So the common term for pustule is pimple. The papule is that spot right before it turns into a pimple. Typically with people who suffer with rosacea, you'll notice a lot of acne-like symptoms without those little bumps turning into actual acne. Going into the next type of rosacea, also known as acne rosacea. The proper medical term for it is known as papulopustular rosacea. With this type of rosacea, you'll notice acne-like swelling. You'll also notice redness, inflammation. It'll look a lot like acne, and oftentimes it does get mistaken for acne. So with the acne rosacea, you'll notice persistence erythema. Remember, erythema is the redness that is caused by inflammation. You'll also notice the inflamed papules and pustules. So you'll notice a lot of acne-like symptoms with this, but what distinguishes it is the vascular damage. So you'll notice a lot of vascularness around your cheek and area. That is really a tell sign of rosacea. So how can you tell the difference between acne rosacea and your traditional acne? One of the tell signs is that with acne, you'll notice blackheads and whiteheads, and with rosacea acne, you won't. You'll just see a lot of inflammation, a lot of inflamed papules and pustules. And when it comes to regular acne, you'll notice the transition happening between whitehead and blackhead to papule and pustule. The next type is called thick skin rosacea. This is also known medically as thymus rosacea. This is where skin thickness starts, as well as texture and possible disfigurement. A lot of the times when the rosacea has gotten to this point, you'll notice that treatments will stop working. So with this one, the skin is very thick. There's a lot of flushing, there's heat to the touch. The skin is very sensitive at this point. There might be disfigurement, especially around the nose area. There's a lot of thickness and buildup on the actual skin. The skin at this point has inflamed papules, pustules, also nodules. It'll also develop an intolerance to treatment. So the more that you try to treat it, at this point, rosacea, the thick skin rosacea is not going to budge. The thing with rosacea is that you want to try to get diagnosed as early as possible. With time, it can and will get progressively worse. And if it is left untreated, it will develop an intolerance to treatments. And at that point, you can get to a point where you will need surgery in order for you to be able to try to correct this kind of rosacea, for example, thick skin, where the nose can become disfigured. The last type of rosacea is also known as red eye. Medically, it's known as ocular rosacea. You'll notice on this one red and irritated eyes. There might be swelling, dryness, irritation, styes. When it comes to this kind of rosacea, there's not much we can do. You'll need to visit a physician. Your dermatologist would have to refer you to a physician, or if he is able to, he might be able to treat you as well. But at that point, you need to be able to go to a doctor and get treated. There's not much we in the esthetician field can do for you other than cold presses to help really reduce the swelling. So what causes rosacea? At the moment, there are no known cures and no known causes, but there are things that we do know that can cause and trigger rosacea. There is a mite that does live on everybody's skin, but with people who suffer with rosacea, they have 10 times more of this mite, also known as Demodex mite. This mite is what causes a lot of rosacea redness and inflammation. It causes a bacteria inflammation reaction on the skin. This little mite, oh, you gotta love him. The Demodex mite lives on the follicles of the skin. So we can thank this little mite for being one of the contributing factors to rosacea. So remember that mite I was just telling you about? The Demodex mite actually causes an enzyme response, also known as a lipase enzyme. This enzyme, it actually breaks down the sebum on the skin, so the oils that our skin produces, and it actually causes the surface of the skin to heat up. So with rosacea people, you actually notice that their skin will feel very warm, or that'll be one of their key complaints, is that their skin feels hot. And we can thank the Demodex mite for that enzyme reaction, the lipase, to cause that increase in heat temperature on the face. It'll heat it to 99 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's talk about the triggers of rosacea. These are known as flare-ups. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but there are a lot of different things that can cause flare-ups. Heat and moisture being one of them, food, climate, so if it's summer, if it's winter, if you're going to be in excessive sun exposure, you need to make sure that you protect the skin to make sure that you are not causing further damage or increasing the capillaries on your skin. So one of the things that I want to mention is food in particular. I'm not telling you to not have any of these, and by all means, this is something that you need to talk to your doctor about and figure out what in your diet might be causing a reaction. But for me personally, I had to do a complete deconstruction of what I was eating and determining what were my triggers. There are foods that are high in histamine. I'm going to be looking down and reading some of them off them that are more common, but there are foods that are high in histamines that will cause these kinds of flare-ups, like cheese, meats, liver, eggplants, spicy foods, yogurt, sour cream, chocolate, soy sauce. There are other beverages such as red wines, beers, bourbons, vodka, champagne, ciders, coffee, tomatoes, there are a lot of foods that you'll notice that you'll have a stronger reaction to. So for me personally, I'll have a really strong reaction to tomatoes, red wine, and coffee. There's only so much coffee and tomato and red wine I could have within a day before I start noticing a reaction in my skin. And come nightfall, I will notice my skin really red and inflamed, and I know that it's because of what I ate. So I would suggest everything in moderations. Talk to your doctor, talk to your physician, let them know what your current struggles are so they could help you find out what is your triggers for your rosacea. So we're going to be talking about some top ingredients when it comes to rosacea. There are ingredients that are going to help you be able to get your rosacea under control. I am working with a company called GLYMED who carries excellent products that carry some of these ingredients that will be an excellent option for you to incorporate into your skincare routine and help get the rosacea under control with the help of your dermatologist, of course. So some of the ingredients that we will be talking about are alpha hydroxy acids, also known as AHA. One of those ingredients is glycolic acid. Sulfur, excellent ingredient when it comes to rosacea. Anti-inflammatory ingredients, enzymes, peptides, as well as SPF. Glycolic acid is an alpha hydroxy acid, also known as an AHA. It is believed that it does help reduce some of the signs and symptoms of rosacea. It helps reduce the thickening of skin, promotes hydration, and also keeps cells active. It also contains antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties that can have a positive effect on the rosacea. A great face wash to incorporate into your routine is the GLYMED Gentle Face Wash. The next ingredient I want to touch base on is sulfur. Sulfur contains antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory properties that are excellent at helping control rosacea. It also reduces the dead skin buildup on the surface of your skin. So one of the great masks that GLYMED has that I personally use is the sulfur acne mask. It is an amazing mask that has healing and antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties to help reduce the rosacea flare-ups that I can get. Remember, the Demodite mite actually causes inflammation, and they do contain bacteria that irritates the skin. Whenever you use the sulfur mask, it actually is an antibacterial mask to help reduce that inflammation. So it's a great mask to incorporate into your skincare routine. Anti-inflammatories, we want to look for ingredients that calm, reduce swelling and inflammation, as well as soothe the skin. My personal favorite from GLYMED is going to be the Daily Repair Cream. It helps soothe and hydrate the skin, as well as the antioxidants help really enrich my skin as well to restore and avoid any future damage. Enzymes, let's go ahead and talk about enzymes. Enzymes are a great and amazing way to gently exfoliate the skin without being too abrasive on it. When it comes to exfoliation and having rosacea, you want to stay away from harsh exfoliants, physical beads, physical exfoliants, nothing too abrasive because the skin is already very sensitive and reactive. So we want something gentle like a fruit enzyme to really help break down all the buildup that is on the skin. The GLYMED Ultra Hydrating Enzyme Mask is amazing at accomplishing this gentle exfoliation. It helps restore the skin hydrated, give it that exfoliation that it needs without it being too drying. It also helps as an antibacterial. It helps boost collagen for healing and also repairs the skin. So it is an excellent option to get that exfoliation that you are needing. Let's talk about peptides. Peptides are something that are really important when it comes to the skin, and we'll get into that in a later video as to what peptides are, how you can incorporate them, what kind of peptides you should be using, and what they do for your skin. But overall, peptides are really healing for the skin. They are the building blocks of who we are as people. They have amino acids, and these amino acids help create proteins in the skin. So they are healing, calming, and strengthening the skin, and really important to incorporate in your skincare routine, especially when you suffer with rosacea. The GLYMED amino acid epidermal sealant is jam-packed with amino acids and peptides that really help seal hydration within the skin. So when it comes to rosacea, if you suffer with dry skin, this is going to be an excellent option to really keep your skin nice and hydrated. Lastly, I'm going to talk about SPF or sun protection factors. Our skin is already very sensitive as it is, so it is really important for us to continue to protect against sun barriers. I would recommend the GLYMED SPF 30. I will go ahead and put it right here and link it down below if you are interested. But it is an amazing SPF. You can reapply it throughout the day, but the protection that it gives on your skin is absolutely amazing. You protect, prevent, and heal the skin from any further damage. All right, guys, so that concludes my video. I just want to end with 50% of the care for rosacea happens at home. There's only so much that us estheticians and dermatologists can do. You have to do your part and take care of your skin. The more that you get on a really good skincare routine that has great and healthy ingredients for your skin and your skin type is what is going to drive those results to giving you that glowing, radiant skin that you want, as well as being able to have that healthy skin that you desire. So definitely make sure to check out the GLYMED line that I will be linking down below. It's going to list all of my products that I talked about today. I'll also be listing everything that I mentioned today down below, as well as linking the GLYMED storefront that I have with them. I am associated with them, meaning that every purchase that you do make with GLYMED, I do get a small commission off of it. So please review everything at your discretion. Check out the products, check out the company. They are amazing. They've been in the game for a very long time. They are backed by science as well as doctors to give you those results that you desire. If you guys have questions or you found this video helpful, please leave them down below and let me know what you thought. If you struggle with rosacea, let me know if you found this video helpful and what type of rosacea, based on the video and the information I provided, you think that you might have. As always, be sure to always check in with your dermatologist to get further information on your diagnosis, and partner up with an esthetician so you can get a really great skincare routine down. And with that, I am closing off this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you found it helpful, and I'll see you here on Thursday. Have a great day, guys. Bye.